I mean, he's always got an opinion and he never has anything nice to say about any other fighters, ever.
Pro boxing fans here in London for the announcement press conference for Zhang versus Joyce Part 2. I want to make this very quick because I know you've got to go, Frank. A lot of talk about Joe needs to change his style. Joe needs to change a lot going into this fight. In your eyes, do you reckon he can make the right adjustments in a short period of time for him to possibly move his head a lot more in the fight, possibly get a little bit more heavier for the fight? Do you believe he can do that?
Well, I don't think it'll be a problem if he's got to be a bit heavier. That's not so much the problem, but he's going to have to change what he's doing. He's going to have to do that. It's very important he does that. But he knows he's not stupid. He spent, was it 6 rounds in there with a guy before the doctor stopped the fight because of his eye injury. He couldn't see out of his eye. He knows what he's got to deal with. He knows what he's got to deal with, and that eye was a problem for him. I mean, it completely screwed him up.
Whilst there's not a lot of activity in the heavyweight division, we're still waiting for these fights to get made. It must be good for yourself to actually get 2 heavyweights.
There is activity. We've got that. We've got our man's in, isn't he? He's fighting Daniel against Usyk. So we've got a lot happening. Yeah.
In regards to that, I'm alluding to obviously your guy Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, everyone else. But let's talk about that quickly before you go. Tyson Fury, the latest on him, obviously he's called out a few people. Now we know Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder are talking. So what does that leave for Tyson?
It's not so much he even called him out. He's offered them a fight on good terms, on great terms. But as we know, both of them are just waiting for the big payday in Saudi Arabia with Skill Set Challenge, and that's their choice they've made. In the meantime, Tyson's, we're not sitting around waiting for things to happen. Tyson is going to be, he's going to keep him busy, and he's going to have a fight. We're going to announce it.
Could that be a Francis Ngannou fight? Maybe is that Francis Ngannou possibly? That's a name that's been touted.
We know when we announced what it is.
Simon Jordan saying, listen, there's no chance now that Tyson fights in December in Saudi. Is that correct?
Well, I believe that they were pushing that show back to the first quarter anyway. That was an interview I see last week that Amir, the chief boxing operations officer, whatever his title is, that's what he was saying. So they're doing that anyway, but we can't wait. We've got to get on with it and do what we've got to do.
Froch is saying that on TalkSport, saying that if Tyson stays out the ring for too long, gets too much ring rust, it's going to be a 12-round disaster against Usyk if he does face him.
Why is that? I mean, Usyk's been out the ring for how long? He's having his first fight in August. I mean, Tyson's been more active than he has. So, and to be honest, I don't care what Carl Froch said. I mean, he's always got an opinion and he never has anything nice to say about any other fighters, ever.
Finally, how frustrating is it when you see the talks for Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte not happening because obviously you sent over the contract, or you sent over an offer, for Tyson to be fighting at that point? And from what your interviews were saying, you said that they wanted the Dillian Whyte fight, then Deontay Wilder. Looks like Dillian Whyte fight might not be happening. How frustrating is that from your side?
What they said when we sent them the offer, that Tyson is not serious, which was absolute complete lies. And secondly, they said, Tom Pepper, the promoter, said that he had a fight done, which he obviously didn't because nothing was signed.
Finally, actually, this show's going to be the same night, possibly, as Conor Ben, Chris Eubank Jr. Does that worry you in any way?
No, it doesn't worry me, and it shouldn't be. If he's not got license, if he's not cleared himself, he shouldn't be allowed to fight. But irrespective, who cares? I mean, these guys are ranked, number 1 and 2, interim champion, proper fight. I mean, they're not even the 2 best in their weight divisions in England. And what is it? It's a guy who got taken to school by Liam Williams, Liam Smith took him absolutely. Sorry, Liam, took him to court. Took him to absolutely back to school and done a job on him. And Conor Ben's never fought anybody of any, of what I'd call significance yet at all. All it is the name. And that bubble burst when the other fella got beat. And at the meantime, he's got to prove himself that he can be. That prove himself that he tested that he's got to overturn that positivity test. So that's it.
Frank, always a pleasure to talk to yourself. Thank you very much for talking to Pro Boxing. Top man.